This Common versus Jadakiss conversation is getting out of hand. What's up, words? Your boy Charles Brown back again, talking facts. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, hit the notification bell. Keep sending those cash apps to CLBMG. Join that membership, and all you buying that merch down below. Gang, listen. So, for the past 2 days, I've been hearing about this conversation. Salute to my guy, Tony the Dome. We follow each other on Twitter. And he sparked the conversation, or I don't know if you've heard about this, but it's becoming, it's making the rounds, right? And he basically said that he couldn't put Jadakiss over Common in his discussions about top 10 lists or top 20, whatever the number of the MCs they were talking about. It just didn't sit well in his spirit, and I guess that went viral because I got people in my personal chat sending me the clip and the memes and this, that, and the third. I've been going on Twitter and people are going back and forth. It's all over Facebook. I don't know if you've plugged into that conversation or not, but we get these wacky pairings, man, and some of the pairings, they're so wacky, you just swipe and keep going because they don't make no sense, and it's like somebody's doing this for clickbait. But this one actually, at first glance, it's like, come on, bro, leave it alone. But at the end of the day, you're gonna say why. Now, I am a, put it like this, I am a common, like, I'm a common, like, I don't know what to tell you when it comes to this hip hop, but me and Common see eye to eye on a lot of things, right? Now, I say all that to say this. The reason this conversation has a little merit, because when I dismiss it, I ask myself, why? Why are you so dismissive so easily about Common being better than Jadakiss? What makes you say that so confidently, like it's like swatting a fly away? I'm like, Charles, you really got to think about this. You got to have this conversation. Well, I don't know if I'm the best person to have it, but I'm going to have it. For the first thing first, full disclosure, Common, I want to say, like I always say, my top 10, it fluctuates over the years. It's very stable, but that's why I upped it to a top 12. At one point, my top 10, very, very sparingly, if you catch me on most days, had Common Sense in there. So I'm just going to be honest with you. At one point, after Common had dropped B, and I'm a big Common fan, right? After Water for Chocolate and Resurrection and this, that, and the third, you couldn't tell me nothing about no Common, gang. I'm just going to be honest. Like, Common really was one of the best lyricists, one of the most consistent lyricists in hip hop. Now, I say that to say my feelings changed over the years with Common, and I think I'm not going to say due to him going to acting and this, that, and the third, because I don't think the acting has anything to do with it. I think what happened with Common got a little pigeonholed into this Maya Angelou-esque type of poetry rapper seeking out Grammys with John Legend, and it kind of took the edge off. I liked edgy Common. I liked Common. Well, I mean, we did see Common drop Electric Circus, and I always give him crap for that. I would never ever say Electric Circus was anything but an experiment gone wrong. But he bounced back after that. I know you guys like to blame Erykah Badu for that. Whatever floats your boat. But after Electric Circus, Common took a few years to just, he kind of floated around in the wilderness, right? And then out of nowhere, we got a random, wasn't a post yet because they weren't doing all that. But what happened was, it was an article, I believe, maybe All Hip Hop, said that it's official that Kanye was going to produce Common's next album. It was going to restore his place in hip hop. It was going to do what we all were wishing for, because you know the narrative that they got about Nas. Nas picks bad beats. Well, for a while there, Common was kind of lingering out there. Just, he would have a good one, he would have a bad one. He would have a decent one, it would be okay. So Common was kind of out there, right there on the same tree branch as Nas with this bad beat thing. Let's just be honest. Common could write the illest verse, but he would come back and it would be a mediocre to mid or below average beat, right? So when he got with Kanye, who was on fire, let's just be honest, everything Kanye touched at the time was on fire. We was strung out. We was coke fiends for these damn soul beats with the sped up samples. So that's all we wanted to hear at the time. And Kanye had exactly what we ordered. So end of the day, when we heard that he was coming out with this album with Kanye, he was going to restore the feeling, When he came out with B 100%, 5 mic classic, I don't know what numbers you need to attach to it, whatever your voting system is, but they all should be 5, 10s, 20s, whatever it is, because B was a front to back classic. And I literally might just fight a nigga to say it ain't. I'm just going to be honest. I don't fight that much, but I'll fight your ass if you try to say B ain't a classic. Let's just be honest. So B is a dead-ass classic. Now, when we measuring B up against other artists, it ain't that many could even stand next to it. So when we start talking about Jadakiss, I'm dismissive. I swat it like a fly. But at the same time, you got to say, Challz, be honest. What has Jadakiss contributed to this game? Well, Jadakiss might be one of the most consistent rappers in 25 years. Let's be honest. Common career goes up and down, up and down. Common always doing Common is LL Cool J. Every time LL Cool J dropped an album, it's a comeback album. I never understood. I say it to this day. Every time from the 80s all through the 90s, all to right now, every time LL dropped, the next album was a comeback. Always. You never hear them say nothing else. And Common is the exact same thing. It's always a comeback. And I saw Common at his lowest and at his peak. And one of the low points of Common when he's dissing Drake over Serena Williams. I had that album. I listened to that album. I think, what was that album called? Was it called I don't know what that album was called. Something about Chicago or something. I don't remember what that album was called. But around that time, those albums, and Common has put out a lot of albums. I don't know if you guys know, but in the last, I want to say 5, 6 years, Common has languished in, like, I don't know if you want to say ubiquity. I don't know what the word is, but these albums just keep dropping, and they're just going nowhere. After he won the Grammy and this, that, and the third and performed for Obama, our taste for Common went down. Now, this has not happened with Jadakiss. Jadakiss has never, I can't recall a year where we ever said Jada was out of here. He had a down moment. He was down on his luck. He's doing a comeback. Jada would drop 3 verses in that year and then be Jada focus and shit. You never heard a year. Now, you can tell me in the comments, okay, 2000, you remember when 2007 and 2008, Jada was, no, I don't remember Jada ever falling off. That matters. Jada bars, yes, they street, they gritty, they gun bars, they hardcore jail and street life and this, that, and the third. They wisdom, penitentiary logic, right? All that shit. But at the same time, they're always on point. From beginning to end. As soon as you hear the laugh, you know what's coming. You just sit back. I don't know nobody in hip-hop that hears that laugh and don't just stop, shush the room so they can hear the verse, right? If you know Common on the joint, you might not even pay attention. You gonna still keep making your steak and cheese. You ain't even gonna pay attention no more. But you know Jada Green start popping off, you gonna shush everything in the room. Now, I say all that to say this. Even still, with all that, Jada never fell off. Jada never this, that, and the third. Jada don't have a classic album, in my opinion. Just gonna be honest. Now, Common can arguably say Common got a good 3. And I'm a fan and I know that, but you gotta admit too, Common got some, listen, Resurrection, B, and you could throw another random one in there. You could say like Water for Chocolate or what is, insert something. I'm sure Common got 3 classics. Okay? So end of the day, what we're doing is we're comparing a man who, and let's we're going to have the conversation. Let's have it. I don't think Jada has put solid body of work to measure up to the catalog of a Common. Even though Common will have those off years and throw out 3 random albums that nobody cared about, right? Common got so much money from acting, he don't need to focus on rap. So he'll come back, focus on rap for a hot month and a half, do an album together, then go back to set. Right? Go back and eating off the caterers, the truck and shit. Because he don't need to rap. He do rap at this point for the love. Right? And I know you guys like to joke about Common's acting. I like Common's acting. I'm just going to be honest. I like it. I just watched him in a show called Silo. Excellent show. 2 seasons. Really great show. The show doesn't fall off. And Common does what he does. And I know you guys are like, what does he do? He act the same in every goddamn movie. Well, I like his acting. I like this mean, rough and tough. And this is another show, Hell on Wheels. I got to finish Hell on Wheels. I liked him in Hell on Wheels. That he was tough as shit in Hell on Wheels. So I like Common's acting. But he don't need to rap. Right? I don't know Jadakiss acting too much. Jadakiss was in that, who was that, Eve and Brandy show, right? He was in that acting, and he acting a couple things, but he don't really act. So Jada's really still hungry with the bars. So what I'm telling you is, we putting up a man who, arguably, Common has real big highs. Real big highs. Like I said, the Grammy with John Legend, this, that, and the third. And then he'll have lows where you're not even checking for Common. Common will drop. He'll go do 50 interviews talking about the album, and people be like, "Oh shit, that's Common," and swipe right and don't even look at the video. So it's like it goes through highs and lows with Common. But you do still have those highs that are so high, and his catalog is stacked, especially everything before B, and maybe one or two after B. But for the most part, he has, when it's legendary, it's legendary. Everything that Jada did is always what Jada does. And I say that respectfully. But it's never, we hit the high, we had a high with Jada, he's peaked and shit, Johnny P's Caddy type shit. No, we never got that with Jada. Jada's gonna be, it's like a dude that's in the pocket. If I'm in the pocket, everything's working, don't try to switch it up. Right? He's not going to give you no happy record. He's not going to give you no girl joint. He's not going to do no stripping record, right? You might get something that's a little party-ish, but it ain't going to be nothing too crazy. So they're going to stay in their lane, which is why he never fell off. But at the same time, if you never try, if you never, and I'm sure Jada fans will get in the comment, what you mean Jada never experiment? I don't really recall Jada experimenting too much. Common will experiment and it'll be hit or miss. He'll go really high and he'll hit and it'll be like, yo, this shit's crazy. Or some Andre 3000 shit. And then he'll come back and it'll be like Electric Circus and you're like, boo, what you doing, gang? So, end of the day, on a lyrical tip now, Common really ever fails on the lyrical tip. Now, with the music, yeah, sure. You can say, okay, he's all over the place, and the third, but Common is always going to hit you with the lyrical tip. Now, what I'm going to be honest, this one going to hurt me more than it hurt you, right? When I say lyrical, I do have to admit Common lost his edge for a while there. For a while there, Common really wanted to be like, impress Maya Angelou. Remember when he said, I let Maya Angelou down because he went after Drake? You're so sweet, right? He went after Drake in such a uncommon-like way, and she told him I was disappointed, right? So Common spent the next couple of years trying to get back in good graces with that Maya Angelou crowd, that bougie Southern Belle, that crowd, that damn avant-garde crowd, right? The damn, when you look at a Beyonce video and you see the black people in the background, they just standing around in nice clothes, that crowd, right? So end of the day, Common's flow did kind of ease up a little bit. It kind of like, Common ain't really, he's scared to say some shit like, this motherfucker used to say some, Common used to say shit like this. He'd be like, I'm an old man with a cold can. When I see interracial lovers hold hands, I get upset like you just say crazy. It'd be like shit. You'd be like, yo, Common, really, like, you saying some wild ass shit, but it'd be hard shit, right? I don't care who started it. I'm gonna be a part of it. Like, type of like, if my niggas fighting, I'm getting in it. So Common used to have these hard ass Chicago bars. Then it kind of turned into some Obama shit, right? Which is whatever, right? But it's like the flow didn't, it kind of switched up and got a little, okay, it's like more like the H.E.R TV show, right? Just FYI, I used to watch the H.E.R. I just got tired. I was like, man, I can't do this no more. I quit on it. I'm gonna be honest. I used to watch the H.E.R. I used to hate watching that shit, but I can't watch that shit no more because it just lost the edge, right? After Homeboy who played Eazy-E got kicked off the show just started doing anything. I'm just like, yo, I'm gonna stick with it. It just wasn't even believable no more, right? And that's how Common got to me. It's just like, gang, like, I know you from the streets and I know you feel this shit and what's going on, but I think you too far removed to really hit these bars like you need to. I have to be honest. Jada never lost that edge. And you're gonna say, Challz, they doing two different things. And for Common to be conscious, he got to spit some conscious bars. And I'm going to be honest, he did. And I like the conscious records, but at some point, I want Common back. I want common sense back, right? Not saying can I borrow $1 Common, right? But even though he gets a bad rep for that. I love can I borrow $1 Common, right? I love that Common. He say flashbacks of past raps make me so glad I made it. Well, I like can I borrow $1. Them Common raps, I was young, you was young. You said funny, goony shit. You said a lot of goofy shit in there, but I like that shit, right? When Common started hitting his peak was around that time when Talib and them was out with that Eternal Reflection and all that shit, Most Def and all that. That's when you was getting Common, like, because he was featured on De La Soul, this, that, and the third. That's when Common was at his peak. He could spit some black shit and it'll be street at the same time. And it was like, yo, you can't fuck with common sense right now, right? That common sense gonna be real tough for Jada to deal with. But at the same time, think about it. Before that Common came, all these iterations of Common that we got, we also had Jada being Jada. And he never, ever changed up. And now it's 2026. And Jada just dropped the freestyle last week that made the blogs, everybody like, yo, Jada just killed it. So he's still doing this. He's still doing this, right? I remember seeing a freestyle that Common went on one of these shows. I can't remember which one it was. And Common used to body freestyles. It was a freestyle this time, and it just wasn't the edge that we're used to. And I was like, that's not the Common I know right there. So we can have the conversation. Because even though they're talking about two different subject matters, one is supposedly conscious and one is supposed to be a gangster, they both can meet in the middle and do the same shit. Common can get on what Jada can get on, and Jada can get on what Common can get on. But at the end of the day, the tail of the tape, when we peel back all the layers, even though when Common is down, when he's up, and when Jada's just being Jada, which is almost, I'm not going to say one-dimensional, but that's what I'm trying to say. So even when they both at their best and at their worst, I'm still going to say, when you peel back the layers and we need that super rap defense, wall defense that I'm always talking about, if aliens come down to the earth and we got to get a certain amount of rappers to defend it, right? I mean, they both could go in there, but if I got to choose between Common and Jada, I got to take Common because he got too many lanes. He can go too many levels. He too seasoned and he too good at this, right? And if we need him to be Common, he going to be Common. I'm just going to be honest, right? I'm going to be like, Common, listen, before you go out there and suit up, we don't want no Obama shit right now. Listen, I need Common from Chicago, gang. I'm just going to be honest. And not no shot. I love Obama. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, I need you to do what you do. Do what you do, okay? Don't do none of this other. We ain't trying to get no Grammy. Don't bring out John Legend. I need Common. So, end of the day, yes, I love some Jadakiss. But if for my money, this is going to sound worse than it is. Jada was never in my top 10. Common was. Right? Common was, because it's too much context, it's too many variables and too many intangibles that Common's going to bring that's going to make a complete album rather than, I don't know how much of a full Jada album I can really listen to versus a Common album. And I feel like Common going to edge him out on concepts and complete songs. Jada got him on verses, he got him on freestyles, he got him on bars, he got him on longevity, consistency, he got him on pretty much all that. You're going to say, when Challz, he fucking got him. What you mean? Well, it's just like that old adage, how we say cannabis won the battle, LL won the war. Right? Cannabis tore him up, second round knockout. Please don't get my comments saying anything different. And people still to this day say that LL won. Stop saying that. You're wrong. LL won the war long term, okay? Cannabis destroyed LL in the battle. Second round knockout is better than Rip the Jack. I'm just going to be honest. Now, and trust me, I fought with some YNs back in the day. I was surrounded. 4 guys against me telling me that Cannabis beat him. And I was a stubborn ass old head LL fan. And I wouldn't let it go. I was like, no, listen, I'm sitting there rewinding Rip the Jack and this, that, and the third or whatever it was called, right? And I'm trying to play the LL bars. And effectively, they laughed at me. They was like, oh, head, you wrong. Cannabis won. Let it go, B. So I had to eat it and just go sulk, right? So at the end of the day, we say that LL won the war, right? That's what I mean. Common will win that war. Yes, stand-up freestyle, da-da-da. Jada probably get him. It's going to be tough for a room of people for Common to come out. Yeah, he's going to have his fans in there. But if you're doing like a versus and you're doing 3 rounds of just bars, Jada probably win that. But if you're talking versus musically, he gonna have a problem with Common. If there's some heads in that room, okay, he gonna have a real problem trying to beat Common. When Common start doing them joints off B, start doing them damn them verses that he got off these different features, it's gonna be a problem. And I think Common got him. So end of the day, I'm gonna leave it at this. In my opinion, Common is more of a musician, an artist. In my opinion, Jada is a raw MC. I'm not taking nothing from him. But if a dude gotta listen, gun to their head, say pick one of these guys. They both amazing, but I'm gonna go with Common. It is what it is. I'm gonna leave it at that, man. Salute to Tony the Dome, man. Go ahead on over to Tony the Dome. He talk hip hop all the time on his YouTube and on his Twitter. Make sure you lock in with him, man. Tell him who sent you, man. Listen, I'm out of here. CLBMG. Head on over to black-yeti.com. Let them know who sent you. They ship all over the continental U.S. Also, every Wednesday night we go live. Me, TJ, and Flares on The What Show. And we got a project. It's called The What Project. with a video called This That. That's on my page. Go a few videos back, or go into the search bar, type This That Challz Brown, and it'll pop right up. Watch that video, run up the numbers. All right, I'm out of here. I'm gonna catch y'all on that flip side. Peace.
Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. With pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine. Elevate your mind with high quality THC infused products. BlackYeti.com. Black-Yeti.com.
CLB.
Get my coat, get my sheepskin, grab my wallet, get my pocket knife, and get that hat right there. We out. Grab my pocket knife too. Let's go. When I first came to the city, niggas didn't believe me. I just wanted to join a team and throw assist pass easily. 6 man off the bench, alley-oop pass freely. Suit up for one game and hope a scout might see me. But nah, niggas is greedy, wasn't rocking with him. Unplugged the scoreboard, put a lock on the gym. Told me to power forward, point guard at the rim. And left me with no center and a ball full of phlegm. Not knowing that I'm a dog, a Rottweiler within. With the heart of a pit bull that don't bark for pretend. My bites cut deep, break the bone and the skin. With the level of hustlenomics you do not comprehend. So first I took a block down on the west side end, and then secured a spot with some goons and some kin. And then sent out some flyers, let the games begin. And in 6 months time, the city like that's him. Oh yeah, he the one that moved the hustle to the burbs. And yeah, he the one that knocked the hustlers off the curb. And yeah, he the one that set up shop without a word. And he the one that got it cracking, and all he did was rapping by the Hooters. I kept killers from being shooters. Put a mic in a thug's hand, now he loyal like Pats fans. Take a man off the streets past the needles and crack cans. Promise mama to keep him safe, then put some food in his face, and he'll kill for you. But I don't need him for that. Click like, click share, tell them bitches we back. Share the whole location, tell them niggas where we at. Cause we out here and we ain't the cheese, we the trap.